Hi and welcome to the first MCQ video on measurements and measuring instruments. So in this video I'll be discussing mainly about the basics of measurements, measuring systems, the measuring units and all. Then we'll slowly move on to the measuring different types of measuring instruments used in electrical and electronics measurements in the coming videos. So the first question is, what is the name of physical quantities which are independent of each other? Fundamental quantities, derived quantities, numerical quantities, none of the above. And here you go. The answer is fundamental quantities. Fundamental quantities are those which are independent and are not derived from other quantities. And there are basically seven fundamental quantities which are length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, luminous intensity and amount of substance, and the symbols used and units are also shown. The metric system is also called as CGS system, MKS system, SI system, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is MKS system. Metric system uses the three basic units: length, mass, volume. Hence, MKS system is called the it is called the MKS system because meter, kilogram, and second are the units. Which one of the following units is a fundamental unit? Newton, ampere, watt, joule per second. And here you go. And the answer here is ampere because we know the unit of electric current is among the fundamental units which is not derived from any other units, and the unit is ampere. Which of the following quantity has SI unit as hertz? Charge, force, frequency, power. And here you go. The answer here is frequency. Hertz is the SI unit of frequency. Frequency is defined as the number of cycles per second and is discovered by German physicist Heinrich Hertz. So the unit of SI unit of frequency is termed Hertz. Which of the following quantity has SI unit as candela? Velocity, impulse, luminous intensity, force. And here you go. And the answer is luminous intensity. Okay. So luminous intensity is the amount of light emitting from a point of source per unit of solid angle from the point source. And candela is the unit of luminous intensity. Which of the following quantity has unit as Pascal? Temperature, pressure, force, impulse. And here you go. And the answer is pressure. Pascal is the SI unit of pressure named after Blaise Pascal, French mathematician. Force per unit area is known as pressure. Which of the following quantity has unit as Newton second? Impulse, acceleration, speed, velocity. And here you go. And the answer is impulse. Integral of force over a time is called impulse, and the SI unit of impulse is called Newton second. What is the expression for acceleration? Mass into velocity, change in velocity per time, mass into acceleration, force into displacement. And here you go. And the answer is change in velocity over time. So acceleration is defined as the ratio of change in velocity over time. How many fundamental units are there? 4, 6, 8, 7. Here you go. Yes, you guessed it right. It was 7. In the first question itself, we discussed about fundamental quantities which are not derived from any other quantities, and there are seven fundamental quantities as shown here. Resistance of a varistor varies with current, voltage, temperature, both voltage and temperature. And here you go. And the answer is voltage. A varistor or variable resistor is an electronic component whose electronic resistance varies with the applied voltage. It is also known as voltage dependent resistor or VDR. Relative permittivity can be measured by dash bridge, Weiston's, Hayes, Desauty's, Schering. And here you go. And the answer is Schering bridge. So relative permittivity can be measured by using Schering bridge. The word relative permittivity is associated with capacitance. Since the Schering bridge is used to find the unknown value of capacitance, dielectric laws relative permittivity. Null type recorders are bridge recorders, LVDT recorders, potentiometric recorders, any of the above. And here you go. The answer is potentiometric recorders. The recorder is based on the working principle of self-balancing or null conditions are called potentiometric recorders. Unit of deflection sensitivity of a CRO is volt per millimeter, meter per volt, millimeter per millivolt, millimeter per volt. And here you go. And the answer is meter per volt. The deflection sensitivity is actually the voltage required to transfer the electronic beam through a unit of length. So the unit of deflection sensitivity is given in meter per volt. Swamping resistance is used to compensate error due to temperature variations, error due to strong magnetic field, both A and B, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is error due to temperature variations. So swamping resistance is connected in series with the meter, and resistance has a negligible resistance coefficient in order to reduce the temperature errors in shunted ammeters, and it is generally made of manganese material. The chemical effect of current is used in DC ampere meter, DC ammeter, DC energy meter, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer here is DC ampere hour meter. Battery is rated in terms of ampere hour. The chemical effect of current is created by the batteries. Hence, the DC ampere hour meter is used to measure the ampere hour rating of the battery. So, the chemical effect of current is used in DC ampere hour meter. The high torque to weight ratio in an analog indicating instrument indicates low friction loss, high friction loss, nothing related to friction loss, none of this. And here you go. And the answer is low friction loss. The high torque to weight ratio in an analog indicating instrument always indicates a fast response of the system. Hence, the system has low friction loss. Which of the following is a veloce vector quantity? Magnetic field intensity, flux density, magnetic potential, relative permeability. And here you go. And the answer is magnetic field intensity. Magnetic field intensity is a force. The vector notation should be required to indicate the magnitude of intensity and the direction of force which is developed by that intensity. Hence, magnetic field intensity is a vector quantity and the others are not. The internal resistance of a milliammeter must be very low for high sensitivity, high accuracy, high precision, minimum effect on the current in the circuit. Here you go. And the answer is minimum effect on the current in the circuit. A high value of internal resistance will vary the current considerably in a milliammeter, as the current is in milli range. So the internal resistance of a milliammeter must be very low to have minimum effect on the current in the circuit. Deflection method direct measurements are most widely used as these are least time consuming, most simple and least time consuming, most accurate. And here you go. And the answer is they are least time consuming. In deflection method direct measurements, the value of unknown quantity is determined with the help of measuring instruments having a calibrated scale indicating the quantity under the measurement directly, such as measurement by current by N is given by an ammeter. This process is also less time consuming. Potentiometer method of DC voltage measurement is more accurate than direct measurement using a voltmeter because it loads the circuit moderately, it loads the circuit to maximum extent, it uses sender zero galvanometer instead of voltmeter, it does not load the circuit at all. And here you go. And the answer is it does not load the circuit at all. Since the circuit is not loaded, the accurate value of DC voltage can be measured by using potentiometer method. And that is all for this video. Thank you for watching.